Hi, you guys. Welcome back to the Empower Her Talk Show. We are here live. Yes. Thank you. I want to thank, I always have to give my thank yous out. I want to thank AOC for this opportunity. I want to thank LUS, Cox Cable, and the six surrounding parishes that allow me to grace your laptop, tablet, iPad, phone, all the instruments that we use to view this beautiful show. Yes. Thank you. All right. So, you guys, so much is going on. I know this holiday come Thursday, excuse me, come Monday, it is Memorial Day. I hope you guys enjoy yourself. Today is Thursday. I know some of your vacations probably already started, or some of them will be starting tomorrow. You get Monday off. Just enjoy yourself. Do something awesome for yourself if you have an opportunity to do that, right? So I want to definitely uh, get into a book. Before I get to that, I want to give you some stuff, some things, how do you say that? A list of things, how you can find me, where I'm at majority of the time. So, first and foremost, I am on here on AOC. I am also, I have a Wednesday and Saturday show that I do. It's actually a class and it's called the Legacy Lift Off class. We've been doing this class since December. Great information shared. The ebooks, we're literally doing schoolwork, really, right? Um, so we're getting ready to start. We gave everybody a break. They're coming back on the 22nd, which is this Saturday at 7:30 because my Saturday classes are at 7:30. My Wednesday classes are at 7 o'clock. And we are working out of a new book. And it's called The Inner Strength, me and my names, developing emotional intelligence for everyday life. So that is our new book we're getting ready to work in. The book that we're going to be we've just finished up was the book that we're going to be talking about tonight, which is Miscalculating, her story, the Black woman and her perception on, uh, I can't even talk tonight, you guys. Oh Lord. Miscalculating, her story, Black women, and, excuse me, their rewriting of history. So we're going to be talking from that book tonight. Since we've already finished it, um, everybody's got all they work. I give them worksheets, they do homework, the whole 9 yards, and they really love the classes. So if you want to join the class, please feel free, let me know. And I will definitely, or you can just hit me up. How can I hit you up? You can hit me up on YouTube because I'm on YouTube with the classes, right? And then we have a class we do on the first Monday of every month. That is our ritual renewal classes, okay? Every month, first of the month, the first Monday of every month. We do this class. Matter of fact, June 1st is the first Monday of this June that's coming up. So we'll be doing that. And it's at 7 o'clock. The only way you can get in that class is if you do it by invite only. I try to make everything simple, all these different ways people do stuff. I don't know those ways. I just make it plain and simple. You want to be part of the class, you let me know by emailing me and saying, hey, I want to be part of your class. What do I need to do? You will get an invite. All you have to do is follow the instructions from the invite, right? And that's how you get in our class. Now, my classes are free. If you do not want to do the class and you just want to purchase the book, you'll have to go and look on my website. I am not promoting anything on here. I'm just letting you know the only way you can get a hold to those ebooks is if you go on my website and check it out over there. Okay. Um, so, um, so we're going to be talking from the Miscalculating, her story, Black women and rewriting history book today. And that's the ebook we just finished. Also, I do Rooted in Rising podcast on my Substack. Okay. Rooted in Rising, a radio podcast that I do I try to do it every Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. I did one Tuesday and Wednesday back to back because I missed Monday. So check those out. Very good conversation, discussion, the whole 9 yards. I'm all about that information. And we're working over there on all the things that she was never allowed to say series is what we're working on right now. So we have some real deep stuff we've been talking about over there. Um, so definitely check that out on my Substack. It's Salida McCall Substack. You can go over there and check that out if you want to. Now, that's my Substack. Look, it's like, wow, what else you don't do? So I try to stay as busy as I can, and my busyness is to impact. It's not to just keep doing a whole bunch of busy work. It's to impact people, to get people's attention. And so far, it is working. I have not tried my TikTok yet. I don't know if people can handle that. But I do every now and then. I post on my TikTok. I put out the little postcards or text cards or whatever you want to call them, notes every now and then to get people's attention. But other than that, that's basically what I do. You can check out most of our shows here on YouTube. You can do that on YouTube for sure because we're over on YouTube too right now. So those are the things that I do. Like I said, we have a new book we're going to be starting, but I want to get with this book right here with you guys. I want to share the screen, so give me a moment here. Let's see here. So we can get started. Let's see here. Okay. Okay. All right. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Okay. So I'm predicting, because I'll be honest with you, I have not gone back and watched the show. I can say that. That's my last show. I have not went back to watch it. But I'm going to start on chapter 3. Okay. I don't know if we've already done chapter 3, but we're going to start. We're going to go ahead and do chapter 3 and go down the line. If you have any questions that you want to ask me, you definitely can hit me up on, you can get me on Facebook. You can even get me up on youcan'tclipmywings.com. You can always uh, send me an email at salidabmccall@gmail.com. Definitely check out the website. Do not be afraid to check out the website. If you're interested in one of our magazines, and I didn't share this with you guys real quick, I need to share this with you. And I think this is the last bunch I got coming in for a minute. So I want to share. Let's stop sharing for just a minute here and go over here. I apologize. So is it upside down? Okay. So it's backwards, This is my magazine. As you can see, I'm right here. That I give, I think it's like every 3 to 4 months. And it has good things in here. Vacation, how to take care of yourself, juicing. It even has recipes in it. Okay. So if you're interested in this is complimentary. It doesn't, you don't have to pay for it. If you're interested, let me know and I can send you one because I have some I can send out. Just again, email me and send me your address and I will definitely get this to you. This is not spam or junk mail. It's actually very good. And I have a group of people that actually get the magazine all the time. So if you're interested in that, nothing, it's not, no charge to it. So let's go ahead and get back into what we were doing here. Okay. Okay, so here we are again, and we're talking about the miscalculating her story on Black women and rewriting of history. So we're talking, first of all, it starts off talking about intersectionality, right? How race, gender, sex, all of that kind of intersects with all the experiences we've had, our lived experiences as Black women, how we've been at times ignored, how our story's been told totally different, right, than what it is, and not having the lived experience of being a black woman in this crazy world. Yeah, and we allow other people to tell our stories. It's not the same. Your story is your story. I can't tell your story the way that you've told it because you have more of a heartfelt feeling in it. You have more of you in it than I could ever be, right? I can only pretend. So we have to understand how society has kind of mummed us from talking our truth, but allowing other people to talk our truth for us. So this is basically what this book is about. Um, the young ladies who did the class with me and we did this book, they were they really, really loved it. And I always ask the question, what do you get out of this book? And one of the things they said is stop allowing other people to speak for us. We need to speak for ourselves and understand how important it is because other people want to hear our stories. Okay? Other people want our lived experiences. They want to know how it feels and in the process of how you can encourage other people to tell their stories. Because all of this is part of us learning who we are and where we fit in this craziness that we deal with on a daily basis, right? So this is basically what this book was about. And I was very like enthusiastic just knowing that these young ladies really, really, because I'm like this. I do this all the time. So I don't always look for the results of what people think or the feedback because I just know that it's so important that this information gets out to the right people. That's all I do. I'm not caught too much on where I stand or where I level off or where I fit. I don't worry too much about that. As long as people are understanding, I could be the little P out there. But as long as maybe two or three P's hear me, I'm good. I am not for the hoopla and everything. If I ever get to that point, I will be happy. I am not saying I wouldn't be ungrateful, but it's not what I just want to make sure people are learning from what I'm talking about. I just want to make sure people are really, really understanding who they are, especially African American women, especially women of color. Who are you? And how do you define yourself? So to me, that's more important, much more important than anything else to me. Okay. So once you find your place, how do you live in that place? When I say in that space, once you find out where you belong, once you find the stage that you want to be on, how do you navigate yourself on that stage? And that's what's important to me. Okay. So I don't get caught up in who's better than me and all. I don't I don't care about that. I just want to make sure that what I'm telling you is working for you, period. Okay. As a coach, that's what coaches do. We want to make sure that if we're guiding, you're asking something from us, we're able to put something together for you that works for you. And then you tell us what the progress is. Right. So, and this is what this book is it's about in the people that actually the young ladies who actually went through the class with me and actually that's what they saw and I love the idea that they saw that. So it basically is talking about the importance of rewriting history. Here's my other glasses. The act of rewriting. Oh, duh, then all I got to do is make it bigger so I can see it. Okay, there we go. So to me, let's talk a little bit about this, and then we're going to go into chapter 3. So the importance of rewriting history. The act of rewriting history is not merely an academic exercise. Yes, that's exactly right. It is an essential endeavor of Black women seeking to reclaim their narratives and assert their rightful place in the historical discourse. Throughout history, Black women have been systematically omitted from mainstream narratives. Their contributions undervalued or misrepresented. This exclusion has created a distorted understanding of the past, one that fails to recognize the multifaceted roles Black women have played in shaping society. Yes, we put on many hats and we've shown up many ways for many situations, right? By rewriting history, we challenge this miscalculation and highlight the significant impact Black women have on cultural, political, and social landscapes. Yes, yes, yes. Reviewing and rewriting historical accounts allows the inclusion of diverse perspectives that have often been silenced. Black women have not only endured oppression, but have also been a pivotal pivotal in movements for justice and equality. They have been leaders, thinkers, agents of change, and yet their stories are frequently relegated to the margins. By bringing these narratives to the forefront, we not only acknowledge their struggles, but also celebrate their resilience and achievements, providing future generations with a more accurate and inspiring story. Moreover, the importance of writing history extends beyond the individual. It fosters a collective identity among Black women. As we piece together our shared experiences and histories, we create a sense of belonging and solidarity. This collective narrative empowers us to understand our past, confront the present, and shape our future. It is through these lens of intersectionality that we can truly appreciate the complexities of Black female experiences, acknowledging how race, gender, and class intersects to influence our lives. And I'm going to stop right there for that. Then we're going to go to chapter 3, because I think that's where we left off at. Was it chapter 3? Well, if we didn't, we're going to go ahead and do chapter 3. So here we're talking about miscalculation historical narratives. I think the last time, if I'm not mistaken, we actually talked about different sheroes that of mine that had historical narratives that were told, right? So misrepresentation has long been a critical issue in the historical surrounding of Black women. So throughout history, the contributions and experiences of Black women have often been overshadowed or distorted by dominant cultural narratives that prioritize our voices, right? This marginalization not only skews the understanding of their roles in society, but also perpetuates stereotypes that fail to capture the complexities, okay, of their identities and experiences. A cleared a clear-eyed examination of this misrepresentation reveals the need for more inclusive recounting of history that acknowledges the diverse narratives of Black women. The impact of misrepresentation extends beyond mere historical inaccuracies. It influences how Black women were perceived in contemporary society. So, majority of the time in society, if they said you were a troublemaker, that's how people saw you. And that's how people start ignoring you when you did have a voice, when you could have said something. We deal with that today. I deal with that today. I am a radical, militant, whatever you want to call it, crazy person. Someone says that about me, you know what? That's a compliment. I wear it like a badge of honor. I will say that in a heartbeat. I sure will. I am all those things and many, many more. But guess what? You don't know my story like I know my story. And if you want to misrepresent me on the level that you want to, you feel the need to do that, you do that. But I'm going to always tell the real truth. And I'm going to tell the real story. And I'm going to talk about my struggles and my experiences, whether you like it or not. I'm going to tell you that I've dealt with racism. I am going to tell you I know what it is to be passed over. I'm going to tell you that I know what it is to be neglected. I know what those things are. And those are my stories. No matter how you want to paint the picture of me, I'm going to tell you who I am. I don't need to lie, especially if I'm authentic to myself. I'm not going to lie, you know. And people are like, oh my God, I can't believe you said it. Yes, I can be hypocritical. I can be judgmental. I can lie on things. Yeah, I'm not sitting up here like I'm the truth seeker. No, I'm going to be honest with you because those things are important, right? Controversial. Oh, those are things to me. That's who I am. I am those things. Why would I say, oh my God, please don't say that? I clutch my pearls. I cannot believe you do not. No, I'm talking to you about me. Okay? So my story, it might not be to some people an interesting story, but to others it's very, some people just want your story because they're curious about you, because how you talk, how you present yourself, how you do things. So people are so curious about you because of the way I talk, the things I say. They're curious. So I mean, I don't benefit from being anybody else but me. I don't benefit for pretending that I'm all this and I'm all that. That's not me. You're either going to hear my story, listen to it, move on with it, learn from it, or you're not. Those are the only two choices you really have. But it's good to be that person. Now, there's people can do things the way they want to. I'm not knocking anybody else to do it. But if you're going to deal with me, I'm going to have to be raw with you. I'm going to have to be straightforward with you. Because it's important that I do, because if I'm being straightforward with you, I can be straightforward with myself. Right? So that's important. I'm not trying to make this all about me. I'm just using me as an example, right? So the misalignment of historical narratives with the lived reality of Black women fosters an environment where their contributions are undervalued. The disconnect can lead to feelings of disempowerment and alienation among Black women, who may struggle to see themselves reflected in the histories that are taught and celebrated. Addressing these miscalculations is crucial for fostering a sense of belonging and empowering among Black women today. Again, the word intersectionality comes up. It plays a pivotal role in understanding the misrepresentation of Black women in history. The experience of Black women cannot be fully understood without considering the interplay of race, gender, class, and other social identities. These intersecting factors not only shape their experiences, but also influence the ways in which their histories are recorded and interpreted. Acknowledging intersectionality allows for a richer, more nuanced understanding of Black women's contributions to society and the barriers they face. And you think that we don't have them now, but there are a lot more barriers in place than there ever was for us. Furthermore, the rewriting of history must involve active participation from Black women themselves. You have to be involved. You have to be involved. Their voices and perspectives are essential, in challenging and narratives, narratives that have historically excluded them. By reclaiming their stories and inserting their place in history, Black women can help to create a more accurate and equitable representation of their experiences. These collective efforts is vital not just for Black women, but for society as a whole, as it enriches our understanding of our history and promotes social justice. Our stories are important. Our experiences are important. And do not always keep things to yourself when it comes to situations like this, because somebody can learn from what you've been through. So, in conclusion, overall, of misrepresentation reveals a necessity for concerted effort to rectify historical narratives surrounding Black women. By addressing the miscalculations in these narratives, we can begin to honor the complexity and richness of Black women's experiences. This journey towards a more accurate representation is not merely an academic exercise, it is a vital step toward empowerment, understanding, and healing within the Black community. By embracing their stories, Black women can redefine their place and inspire future generations to do the same. Next, we'll talk about case studies. Now, I want you guys to understand this. Just because you're not a Fannie Lou Hamer, you're not a Miss Chisholm, you're not a Sada Shakur, you're not an Angela Davis, does not mean your story is not important. Your story is very much so important. Okay? You don't have to be those people to have a sounding board. All you have to do is have the experience and live through it. And live through it to the point where you can talk about it. Another mark, oops, excuse me, I'm sorry. The legacies of notable black women throughout history are often obscured by dominant narratives that fail to capture their true significance. Figures such as Harriet Tubman and Ida B. Wells exemplify the intersectionality of race and gender in their contributions to social justice and civil rights. Tubman, known for her daring missions to rescue enslaved people via the Underground Railroad, not only fought for freedom but also for women's suffrage, illustrating the only not only fought for freedom but also for women's suffrage. Pioneering journalists challenged systemic racism and violence, bringing attention to the lynching of black individuals, this was Ida B. Wells, thereby showcasing the critical role and black women in advocacy and activism. We always did that. This is not something new. Excuse me, I'm going to have to drink my soda just a second. Another remarkable figure is Angela Davis, who worked as a scholar and activist in the 1960s and 70s, brought issues of race, class, and gender to the forefront of political discourse. Davis's involvement with the Black Panther Party and her subsequent imprisonment highlighted the intersectional oppression faced by black women as she became a symbol of resistance against systemic injustices. Her intellectual contributions continue to inspire contemporary movements, reminding us that black women's histories are intertwined with the broader struggles for liberation and equality. Additionally, the story of Michelle Obama represents a modern chapter in an ongoing narrative of Black women's achievements. As for the first African American First Lady of the United States, she challenged stereotypes and advocated for education, health, and military families. Her memoir, Becoming, resonates with many Black women as it reflects the complexities of identity, ambition, and resilience in the face of societal expectations. Obama's journey underscores the importance of representation and the impact on Black women in positions of power. So, even though sometimes we're in positions to make decisions, we're still not good enough. Okay? We're still not good enough. It's something about us that we become a threat to a lot of people and a lot of different races of women. We do. For some reason, I don't understand it, but we do. We become a threat. And so, with a threat, what do you do with a threat? You stop a threat. You do everything, like including firing them, not promoting them, getting rid of them, make their lives miserable at their jobs. Even though they love the job, it's the people. I've always said that when I was working in corrections, it was never the inmates, it was the people I worked for. And I didn't realize it till after I left how sexist these positions that I was in were. I didn't realize that till a lot of things started to happen. So, yeah, Black women deal with a lot of stuff. And if you listen to, well, I talk mostly, when I tell my stories, most of the time it's to other African American people about me. Matter of fact, me and my son, just a few minutes ago, we were talking about Panama. Me being, we were stationed in Panama. He was telling the other person about his experience in Panama as a little kid around the time Operation Just Cause happened. And I was putting my input in it because I didn't realize he remembered all that. But he did. He remembered a lot. That's a lived experience. And I have a witness, my son, that lived through it with me. So I'm saying our stories are important no matter who tells it. Our stories, let me say, no matter who tells it. I'm not, let me say that again because I did not come out the way that I wanted to. I'm saying no matter how we tell our stories are important. Not other people telling it, but how we tell it. It's more important because it's our lived experience. Again, right? The contributions of Black women in the arts must also be acknowledged, with figures like Maya Angelou and Nina Simone breaking barriers and reshaping cultural narratives. Angelou, literary work infused the themes of identity and resilience, provide a voice for the struggles and triumphs of Black women. Similarly, Simone's music and activism transcended enough, serving as a powerful platform for civil rights and social change. Their legacies challenge the miscalculations in historical narrative by highlighting the profound influences of Black women shaping culture and society. In recognizing these notable women, we are confronted, we confront the miscalculations in historical narratives that often overlook their contributions. By reclaiming their stories, we not only validate their experiences, but also empower future generations of Black women. It is crucial to celebrate these figures as they embody the intersectionality of race and gender, and their narratives are integral in understanding the broader context of Black women's experiences throughout history. Their stories serve as a reminder that the fight for equity, and justice are ongoing, and that voices of Black women are central in this pursuit. Another person came to my mind just now while I was reading that was Billie Holiday. I know you guys know the song Strange Fruit, right? Somebody wrote that for her. She sung it. She was being threatened either by the CIA or the FBI to not sing that song. And she was threatened over and over again not to sing that song. So our voices become silenced. And that's crazy that that happens to us, but it does. Our voices become silent. And I want to play a song. It's my song. It's no copyright infringements on it. It's my song. I wrote it. I did it. And in a few minutes, I'm going to play it for you because I want you to understand the impact you have. And I want Black women to understand that there's everything that we do is important to us and our family and our legacy, everything we do. So, the impact of stereotypes on historical accounts. Stereotypes have long influenced the narrative surrounding historical accounts of Black women, often reducing their complex identity to simplified caricatures. These stereotypes not only distort the realities of their experiences, but also shape the way historians and society at large perceives their contributions. By examining the impact of these stereotypes, we can uncover the hidden narrative that have been overshadowed by dominant historical discourses. Moreover, the intersectionality of race and gender, plays a crucial role in how Black women's stories are told and interpreted. Historical accounts frequently overlook the multifaceted nature of their experiences, which are often intertwined with issues of class, sexuality, and culture. This lack of nuanced representation leads to a miscalculation of their roles in history, perpetuating the cycle of invisibility and many Black women face. In rewriting of history, must acknowledge the detrimental effects of these stereotypes on both individuals and collective identities. When Black women's contributions are diminished or misrepresented, it not only harms their legacy, but it also affects current and future generations. This distortion can lead to a skewed understanding of societal progress and the ongoing struggles that Black women endure. Furthermore, it is essential to challenge the prevailing narratives that often exclude the voices of Black women. Activism and scholarship must focus on reclaiming these narratives, ensuring that the true stories of resistance or resilience, strength, and agency are highlighted. By doing so, we can foster a richer, more inclusive historical account that reflects the diverse experiences of Black women throughout time. So, going through all that, saying all that, it is important to tell your story. It's important to share your story with people who are you trying to inspire. Okay? In conclusion, the impact of stereotypes on historical accounts is profound and far reaching. To honor the true essence of Black women's experiences, we must actively engage in rewriting history with an intersectional lens. By embracing a more comprehensive understanding of their narratives, we can empower Black women and acknowledge their rightful place in history, ultimately contributing to a more equitable society. All right. So that is chapter 3 of the Miscalculating Her Story, Black Women, and the Rewriting of Their History, and how important it is that we continue to tell their story. Um, so, while I look for this, I am going to play something for you. Wait. You know what? Give me a second. Because I have to find it. I thought I had it. That's what I get. But I will be having it in a few minutes. Give me a second. Give me a second. Okay. Okay. Give me a. Okay. Let me go somewhere else and find it. I just want this song to ring in your ear. I definitely want it to ring in your ear. Like, why didn't you have that ready? I don't know, because it came to my mind at the last minute. That's why. Um, it just like came to me like at the very last minute. Like, okay, this I want to make sure we understand this. We marched too long, fought our way through hoses and dogs. We came out strong, our feet kept time on broken ground, and still we rose. Changed generations and placed the power refuse to turn back. We refuse to turn back. There is no danger in being black. There is no danger in being black. Our voices, our votes, we will not go back. We carried names in folded signs and tired hands. We walked through fear and held our ground for every child who learned us to stand. Oh, change generations to place the power in our hands. We refuse to turn back. We refuse to turn back. There is no danger in being black. There is no danger in being black. Our voices, our votes, we will not go back. Say it loud, let it ring through the street. No more hiding, no more chains at our feet. Ooh, we are here and we will remain. There's no danger in being black. There is no danger. Oh, in being black. Our voices, our votes, we will not go back. All right. I'm sorry, guys. Trying to get it turned off. Please forgive me. I was trying to get it turned off. But anyway, so that was, I think that was very significant to what we were just talking about, because as you can see, the women were in the front as usual, because that's where we belong. I hate to say that, but yeah, we belong in the front. Our voices are very much so need heard. Our stories need to be told at every angle. Our stories need to be told. I encourage every woman to talk about their experiences as a woman, as a Black woman, in this craziness that we're going through. It's so, so important. And understanding that we don't have to go back. History is history. Okay. Our history is our history. And it's more of her story than it is his story. Because again, people love telling our stories without including us, because it's something they heard and not something that they actually know. And it's important that we step into our light, step into what who we are. Do not feel the need that you have to go through life always trying to prove yourself to everybody, because we all do it. We all have that people pleasing syndrome. No matter how much we come off to be strong and, oh, I'm not that person. Yeah, majority of us are that. We are people pleasers. And you know what? We don't even realize we're people pleasers. You know why we don't? Because we've made it a norm. As a wife, as a mother, what are the things that you have to do on a daily basis? What are the things as a mother you have to do on a daily basis? What are the things that you do as a coworker on a daily basis? Yeah, you have the tendencies to be a people pleaser. Yeah. And because of those, and actually, matter of fact, on my podcast, my Rooted and Rising podcast on my Substack, if you want to go check that out, I talk about that. I talk about that very heavily. about how we're in denial of what we do. We're people pleasers. We're born and we're raised into making sure everybody else is taken care of. So yeah, we get validated through other people. We don't we don't validate ourselves, but we get validated through other people. Our performance for other people creates us to feel loved, okay? To feel loved by other people. So when we talk about our story and how important it is, and it's not necessarily always talking about the historical aspect of our story in general is important because it might not be history to you because it's your story, but it might be history to other people. So that's why it's important that you tell it. Talk about your experiences dealing in this cruel, cold world. It's your history. It's your history. And it's all right to talk about it. It's all right. There's nothing wrong with it at all. It's nothing for you to be ashamed of when you talk about your story at all. And I don't know why we feel the need to, I don't know why we feel the need to be ashamed of what we've learned, you know, and how our lived experiences have played an impact on our lives, whether it's positive or negative, whether that situation you took away something that you learned and it was a positive thing or something that you never want to learn again. It's still your story. And that's what's so important. And your story is just as bright. And it could be a sad story, right? But you do not understand how much you're helping other people. I've learned so much from other people telling me what they've been through. I've learned so much. And I sit back and I say, wow, now how would I react if that happened to me? How could I take that? A while back, I used to have a show, one of my podcasts, with Elaine Riddick. And I don't know if you guys know who Elaine Riddick is. Elaine Riddick is. Real quick, I'm going to show you her story, if I can find her story. And let's see. Okay, give me 1 second here. If they don't have a picture of her. But this is the young lady. I want to share this with you guys because I want you to hear her story because this is her story. And I had the greatest opportunity to actually have a show with her. Okay, so this is her story. Survivor, survivor of forced sterilization fears its return as a consequence of overturning Roe. Elaine Riddick was 13 years old when she says she was raped by a neighbor in Windfall, North Carolina. 9 months later, in 1968, she was involuntarily sterilized in the hospital while delivering her first and only child. She has a son. I had no idea, she told the Washington Post, adding she didn't find out about the operation until 5 years later at the age of 19, after she had married and hoped to have more children. The doctors botched butchered her, excuse me, cutting, tying and cauterizing her fallopian tubes, excuse me. She said she was told she was learned when she learned of her sterilization during medical examination. After the sterilization, Riddick had lost blood and fallen ill frequently. I didn't have a childhood because of the hemorrhaging and passing out, she said. This is how badly they damaged my insides. Riddick, who is now 68 and lives in Marietta, Georgia, is one of the tens and thousands of survivors of forced sterilization in the 20th century. A disproportionate share of them, black like Riddick, she was subjected to a eugenics program by the state of North Carolina which sterilized 7,600 people between 1929 and 1974 because they were deemed unfit to be parents. In 2017, after fighting for compensation for over 50 years, she received 47,000 from the state. North Carolina had labeled Riddick a feeble-minded, the same justification that had been used in 1924 to authorize the sterilization of Carrie Buck, a Virginian woman who had also been raped as a minor. Buck's case went to the Supreme Court, which in its 1927 ruling, which is Buck versus Bell, upheld mandatory sterilizations of people considered unfit to bear and raise children. That decision has never formally been overturned. With the overturned, excuse me. With the Supreme Court's decision last month in the Dobbs versus Jackson Women Health Organization, states now have full license to legally compel a person to continue a pregnancy. For many activists and legal experts, this isn't a far cry from Buck, which use similar legal reasoning to allow government to prevent certain people from becoming pregnant in the first place. Some lawyers and activists worry that the use of forced sterilization could be expanding after the Dobbs decision. So, this is the young lady I was telling you that I actually had a podcast with. Yes, this is what happened to her. And what happened to her is what? That's her story. I just read and I quoted from the article what she said happened to her. She was raped and she was forced to have the child. And after she had the child, they butchered her fallopian tubes. And people don't think this really happens. Yes, she is a real live lady. I actually had her on my podcast several times. Matter of fact, she did a couple of podcasts with me, like I said earlier. Her story is allowed, me letting her tell her story. As a matter of fact, I hit her up on Instagram not too long ago and asked her, did she want to tell her story again? Obviously, she's moved on. I think a lot of things have happened since we've had our show. And a lot of things have happened in her life. We kind of went our, separate ways, but we kept, back and forth in contact, kind of hitting up each other every now and then. But yes, I've had some wonderful people I've done podcasts and radio shows with that have those experiences. I've had conversations and interviews with women who have been through a lot and they wrote their stories in books. It's their story. I just gave them a platform to talk about it. And that's why it's so important for African American women to come together and to understand how important it is for us to be able to talk to each other when it comes to stuff like that. Because I can learn from you just as much as you can learn from me. I probably can learn more from you than you can learn from me. It depends on what you're trying to learn. But I'm a person where my mind is open. So I kind of soak up everything. So if you tell me, I read a lot, I read all kinds of things, science, I read everything. Anything that interests me, I'm going to read it and learn about it. Because that's how I think. So conversations are not one dimensional with me. Knowledge is not one dimensional with me. I make sure I learn a little bit of everything. And that's why it's important that if you have a story, you want to tell it, tell it. Okay? You're entitled to that. You have the power to do that. And I'm encouraging you to do that. Very much so encouraging you to continue telling your story. So, before we go, I'm going to say again, if you want to be part of my classes, the Legacy Liftoff classes, they are Wednesdays at 7 o'clock and they are Saturday at 7:30 over here on my YouTube channel, Salita, at Salita B. That's our Legacy Liftoff classes. Also here on YouTube and AOC, you can listen to me on Thursdays, like right now, at 7 p.m. over here on the Empower Her Talk Show. The first Mondays of every month is our renewal rituals we do, getting ourselves ready for the month itself. We do that first Mondays. The next one is June 1st, as a matter of fact. And if you want to be part of that class, you have to send me your email and I will send you the link because that is only by email invitation only. That's the only way that you can get that class with me. And that class is not shared on all my other platforms. It's only on one channel because I feel that it's an intimate thing. So I don't want, I don't leave it open for everybody to watch. Now I might make some clips out of it, but I don't always share it with everybody. So it's a private, intimate type class that I do. My podcast, you can go to Substack on Rooted and Rising Podcast, Substack. You can check my podcast out, which I try to do every Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. I attempt to do it that way. And usually, if you want to list, well, I record it. I'll usually record it. I don't do live yet. So I usually I post that up soon as I finish with it. So that's usually on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And then you can also go to our website at You Can't Clip My Wings. You can also go to our radio station, which is Rooted and Rising Radio, all one word, .airtime.pro, which is our radio station that you can check out the music and more talk because we do a lot of talking because I love talking. So we do a lot of talking. So you can hear some of our stories, some of our shows over there too because I like to spread it out. Okay? So I am going to go ahead and let you guys go. I want to thank you again for listening to us here on AOC. I come on every Thursday at 7 p.m. If you have any topics you want to talk about, hit me up. Okay, you can definitely hit me up. But right now, we're going to be working out of this book. And I hope today's lesson really, really helped you. All right. So we'll be back for chapter 4 next Thursday. You guys have a great evening. And thank you again. And bye-bye.